Good morning, everybody. Hope you are all healthy and safe at home. We shall continue with our section 9.10 of double integrals. So in the previous lecture and all, we had seen how what is actually the geometric interpretation of double integral and how we can determine the area and volume and all using double integrals of a given surface and all. In this lecture, what we are going to discuss is we are going to discuss about the concept of laminas. Now, what is laminas? Laminas is just a closed surface which has some mass and density. Okay, there's nothing much more. We don't have to go much deeper. I mean, there is nothing much more deeper. It is a closed surface, planar closed surface, which has some mass and some surface density in it. So now I have said that laminas have some mass and density for them. So we are going to do what we are going to do is we are going to derive or find what are the formulas for calculating the mass and the centroid and so on in this lecture. So let us see what is the formulas corresponding to them. So we have laminas with variable density or center of mass. So here first we are going to consider the single integral case, that is if rho is a constant density, then what is the mass of the lamina coinciding with the region? The region is bounded by graphs of y equal to f of x and the x-axis, and there are lines x is equal to a and x is equal to b. So the region is bounded by y equal to f of x and x equal to a and x equal to b. Then the mass of the lamina is given by m is equal to limit norm p tends to 0 summation k equal to 1 rho into f of xk star into delta xk. If you remember, this is a very well-known thing that we have learned while calculating the line integrals, because it was the actual summation by taking individual points of each interval and so on, and taking norm p tends to 0, we will get the corresponding value. And the only thing new was that we are adding a constant density here to determine the mass. Now this is equivalent to integral a to b rho into f of x dx. Okay, now this is the case of line integrals. Now we are moving on to double integrals. That happens when the region which we are considering has a variable density rho of x comma y. Okay, there it was just a constant density, and in this case we are having a variable density rho of x comma y, that is the density is again a function depending on x and y. Then the mass will be again it is given by the formula m is equal to limit norm p tends to 0 summation k equal to 1 to n rho into rho of x k star y k star into delta ak. Okay, here instead of some other function we are considering the variable, we are considering the density function itself, and this is nothing but double integral over r rho x by dA. So that is where the double integral comes into the picture. Then we have the coordinates for the center of mass. It is nothing but x bar is equal to capital My divided by m, comma, and y bar is mx by small m. Okay, the small m was the mass of the lamina that we had determined by using formula 9, and the capital My and mx are nothing but they are the moments of the lamina about the y-axis and x-axis respectively, moments, and there are formula to determine the moments. What is it? It is double integral over r x into rho of x comma y dA, that will be my. When you have to calculate my, we have to multiply the density function with x, and when we have to calculate mx, we have to multiply the density function with y. Okay, so this these are the three things that we have to remember. One is the mass of the lamina, then how we can find the center of mass. The center of mass can be is given by the coordinates x bar and y bar, that is x bar is my by small m and y bar is mx by small m, and mx can be calculated by double integral over y into the density function dA, and my is double integral over r x into density function into dA. These are the moments, and sometimes if the density we had said from in the beginning that we are considering the density as a function of x and y. In case suppose the density is a constant, then the center of mass is called the centroid of the lamina. Okay, so these are the few new things that we have learned, how to find the mass of the lamina, the center of mass, and to determine the center of mass we have to determine the moments of the lamina, and all these are related with or can be determined with the help of double integral. And if at all the density function is a constant, the center of mass is called as the centroid of the lamina. So next is an example which is depicting how to determine all these values. So let's just go through the example. The example 3. A lamina has a shape of the region in the first quadrant that is bounded by the graphs of y equal to sin x and y equal to cos x between x equal to 0 and x equal to pi by 4. So the region can be easily drawn, or you can just refer figure 9.10.9. that is, we have to find the region bounded by the graphs. We know the graph of y equal to sin x and cos x. They are just like this. It will form an x region, and we have to find the variation from x is equal to 0 to pi by 4. And we are asked to find its center of mass if the density is rho x comma y is y. So everything is given to us, we just have to find the center of mass. Now to find the center of mass, we need to determine the mass and we need to determine the moments. So here the density is not a constant, so we'll not consider the case of centroid. So first we'll determine the mass. What will be mass? Mass is double integral over r rho of xy into dA. So here rho of x comma y is y. So double integral over r y into dA. So that is we are going to apply double integral. Here the variation of y is from sin x. See, y is varying from sin x to cos x, and x is varying from 0 to pi by 4. So we'll apply the double integral. So integrating y, we get y square by 2, and substituting this values we get cos square x minus sin square x. And what is the value of cos square x minus sin square x? This is after integration of the first with respect to y. Next we have to integrate it with respect to x, right? So cos square x minus sin square x is nothing but cos 2x, and we'll integrate it and we'll get the value 1 by 4. Now to find the center of mass, we have determined the mass. That next we have to determine the moments with respect to y-axis and x-axis. So first the moment with respect to y-axis, capital My is nothing but double integral over r x into rho xy, that is y dA. So again we'll have the value x into y, that is integrating with respect to y, we get x y square by 2 varying from sin x to cos x. So it will be x into cos square x minus sin square x, that is again cos 2x, right? So we are taking 1 by 2 out common. So 1 by 2 integral 0 to pi by 4 x cos 2x dx. So here we'll have to apply the integration by parts method. So first we'll consider, and by solving, that is x into sin 2x plus integral of derivative of x, that is 1, integral of cos 2x, that is again sin 2x. Again we have to integrate sin 2x, so minus and minus will become plus sign, that is this is the value which we will get in the end. Just do it by integration by parts, step by step, so you will get the value. Integration is the second function into integral of first function minus integral of derivative of first function into integral of second function. So value will be pi minus 2 by 16. Similarly, we'll calculate the moment with respect to the x-axis, that is capital Mx, and that is nothing but double integral over r y into rho of xy, that is y square will get. Okay, so it will be 0 to integral 0 to pi by 4 and integral sin x cos x, sin x to cos x, y square dy dx. So the integral of y square is y cube, and we'll substitute the value cos x and sin x, so we'll get 1 by 3 into integral 0 to pi by 4 cos cube x minus sin cube x into dx. So here it becomes a bit difficult or to calculate what is the integral with respect to x. So here what we're doing is we are taking cos x out common. Okay, if we take cos x from this, the remaining is cos square x. What is cos square x? 1 minus sin square x. Okay, that is how they have expanded this bracket. And minus, we are taking 1 sin x common, so the remaining sin square x, that is 1 minus cos square x. Now how does this make our integration easy? So the first term will be cos x. We know the integration of cos x is nothing but sin x. The second term is cos x into sin square x. So here we will use substitution method. We will substitute sin x as u, and the derivative of u is equal to sin x. So du will be cos x. So cos x and cos x will get cancelled, and you will get the integral to be minus 1 by 3 sin cube x. Okay, similarly here also we'll get plus cos x minus 1 by 3 cos cube x, varying from 0 to pi by 4. So when you apply the substitution method, you can maintain the limits till the end, and at the end, if you have to substitute the value of u again, then only we can apply the same limiting values. So solving this, what do we get? We get the value to be 5 into root 2 minus 4 divided by 18. So now we can find the center of mass. It will have the coordinates. X bar will be my by m was 1 by 4, and my, which we had calculated, was pi minus 2 by 16, and this approximates to 0.29, and y bar is mx by m, which is 5 into root 2 minus 4 whole divided by 18 divided by 1 by 4, which again approximates to 0.68. So this is the coordinates of the center of mass. So this is how we can determine the mass and the center of mass of the various laminas which are given to us. So the formulas are simple. It is all related with the double integral, so we can just verify it, or we can, and since we have done many problems related to that, it is easy to solve or determine the mass and the center of mass of the laminas given to us. So with this we shall wind up today's section. Thank you. Stay home and stay safe.